7 common mistakes to avoid when starting a new relationship. Number one is overlooking compatibility. A lot of people make these mistakes a lot when they get into a new relationship because of the emotional drives, emotional chemistry that is so strong. Some people tend to overlook compatibility. They don't care to know whether their values match with their partner's value or the person they tend to relate with. It's very important that you get to value yourself, because if you don't value yourself by taking yourself first, it's really going to affect you on the long run in that relationship. Make sure that you have shared values with this person. Don't get entangled with someone that is not interested in what you are interested in, because relationship is about compatibility, is about oneness, is about coming together to to become a better force. Every relationship you get into should be a plus in your life. So when you are getting into someone's life and you don't care what they are coming into your life with, it's more like you are making a dangerous mistake, because at the end you are definitely not going to keep that relationship. It cannot work when your values are not intact. After the feelings, after the emotional chemistry comes the reality of what you are in there to do. So it's very important to really take note of the fact that compatibility is so important, and check out to be sure that this person has what it takes, the values that you want. So another key mistakes that people make when starting a new relationship is moving too fast. A new relationship is usually very romantic and interesting, and sometimes people forget to really check if they are giving too much in the relationship. You don't have to move too fast. You don't have to expect the person to be perfect just because they are nice to you at the initial stage. Of course, you can't know someone just meeting that person in months. You have to really let life expose people's capacity, people's values and ability, and even what they have for you. They are going to go through some series of experiences to do that, and you have to be there. Of course, that's so important. So you don't have to expose yourself so much. You don't have to tell everything about you. Just share every single thing about you. I made a video on stages of relationship and what to put out or what to give in every stage. So at the first stage of getting into someone's life, you don't have to give out so much, because one of the reasons why breakups happen and hurts and regrets happens in relationship is because people are giving out so much at the initial stage of the relationship, which is not necessary. You must study to know the person, get to know who the person is, and it is just going to be based on time. You have to give time. So don't be too quick to give so much. You don't have to give so much. Is a big mistake you cannot afford to make when starting a relationship. So the next step is ignoring red flags. A lot of people who begin relationship newly, because of the excitement, ignore the red flags a lot. You have to understand that every relationship has red flags. Red flags are simply those negative sides of that person. Nobody is perfect. Everyone has a red flag, but it depends on the kind of red flags the person has. So in some cases, you might have what it takes to, manage the red flag. But if you detect the red flags early and discover that it is not what you can manage, you have to begin early to, just go off the relationship, just detach yourself, separate yourself, and completely stay off that person, because red flags are like a permanent deposit. If you are going to work on them, you have to sacrificially work on them, because it's about people's personality and they don't change easily. People don't change easily, but not that people don't change anyway, but like I said, people don't change easily. If you really want to go through the process of, getting them to that place of getting it right, it's really going to cost you a whole lot. So people who start new relationship, of course, sometimes they are so blind towards red flags. And of course, it goes a long way to hurt them. Yeah, so pay attention to red flags. How to discover red flags in relationship. I have a video on that. So check my videos. I'm going to drop the link on the description box so that you see how to discover red flags in a dating relationship or in a new relationship you just got into. The next mistake people make when getting into a new relationship is to have unrealistic expectations. But you must understand that a perfect relationship requires effort and compromise. You don't just expect so much from a relationship you are getting into newly, maybe because where you are coming from or the last relationship didn't really give you all you want, and this time around you are you are going with the eye of an ego, and you just look at this person and you feel that, oh, he has what the other person never had, or she had what the other person she never had. And of course, that is where people miss it. Of course, if you go into a new relationship with so much expectation, or you are really going to not really succeed in that relationship. So it's very important to come into the relationship with first what you have to offer. When you focus more on what you're going to give in the relationship, it will help you to really press down your expectation in the relationship. Because if you must get it perfectly and you must get what you feel like is all you need in that relationship, it requires compromise and effort, and you must be ready to give it. One person don't make a relationship, so don't put yourself under that pressure of expecting so much from someone, or put the person in that pressure of giving you so much. You are not going to get it. I promise you, it doesn't work that way. Another mistake to avoid when getting into a new relationship is neglecting spiritual compatibility. If you want to have a strong foundation in your relationship, you must never neglect spiritual compatibility in your relationship. Be sure it's someone that you have the same belief with. It must be someone that believes in what you believe in. If you're a Christian, it must be the person must be a Christian with you. Ensure that you have shared beliefs, because that is going to help you so much in times of adversity, trials, and so much. So you would hardly see relationship that survived when the partners are, they have different beliefs. So don't make that mistake of not having the same spiritual foundation. Be sure to ask the person, and beyond asking the person, make your personal investigation, inquiry, and monitor and see what this person truly believes in. Maybe the person wants to just get you by, pretending to be who he or she is not. It's a personal discovery. So take your time. That is exactly why you shouldn't give so much before you finally find out who they are. Be sure that this person is on the same path with your faith. Else, you are going to get into so many traps that you might not be able to handle later in that relationship. The next mistake people make when getting into a new relationship is being dishonest about themselves, or pretending, self pretense. Like, people do that a lot just because they are so much in love with someone. And of course, they want to get the person by all means, and they can begin to hide themselves. And of course, you cannot hide yourself enough. You cannot pretend enough. It is always good to attract your kind when it comes to relationship, because if you attract someone's kind, the person, when he finally or she finally arrives in your life, would be looking out for the person you actually projected in the first place that attracted him or her. So when you want to really get into a new relationship and succeed in it, you have to be realistic, be authentic. Who you are attracts your kind. There's always someone that will love your person. So don't pretend, don't try to be who you are not. But if you're working out on becoming better version of yourself, is a different thing altogether than trying to be who you are not, maybe lying and pretending with you know people do that. It's important to be real at the early stage of the relationship, so that you won't get yourself entangled with the person emotionally and finally reveals who you are. And of course, the person don't want to stay again, and the breakup is now going to be, very emotionally disastrous. Yeah, so it's not necessary. Be free, be real. You are very unique, you're very special. So begin to tell yourself how unique you are. And if you feel that you don't have all that is needed to have the right kind of person, the best approach is to upgrade yourself, upgrade with your qualification, upgrade yourself, but be real. Upgrade yourself to become better version of yourself, and you will see people really hunting for you when you are much better and better and better and better. So finally, on the mistake to avoid when getting into a new relationship is neglecting yourself. You have to just prioritize yourself. Honestly, is very important. Self-care is very, very important. You don't carry yourself and throw on your partner or the person you want to be with and forget yourself. You need yourself. You need to be you, because the person is getting you. And when people are getting you, they should be getting something. But if you're not healthy and whole and self-sufficient and complete and even beautiful and handsome, of course, the person is not getting anything. You don't have to put yourself in that position of just giving out, giving out, giving out without giving to yourself. There's a place of giving to yourself. As well as you're going to receive from the other person, you have to be intentional about giving to yourself. Take care of you. take care of what you eat, what you drink, how you look, your appearance, upgrade your talents, your values, and just make yourself interesting. Have a life outside of that relationship because that is the best approach of adding value to the relationship. When you have a life, you have yourself, you have everything intact with you. Of course, when the person gets you, the person gets a gift, the person gets something that is worth being happy for. And of course, your value is going to shoot up in that relationship. Is very important. Okay, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and drop a comment. I would like to see your comments if you have any question or anything. My name is Esther.